無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。ザ・ワールド、俺だけの時間だぜ。時は動き出す。いいぜ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。無駄だ。
I know this topic has been talked to death, but I see it as free content and it allows me to, I guess, pass some things that I know about TWAU boxing to other people. If you don't know how it works, then welcome to YBA. Please, take a seat, some drinks, some snacks to fill yourself up so that you won't get bored of a high schooler talking about a ghostly manifestation of a British blonde guy. TWAU boxing is unironically one of the best stand spec combinations due to extremely huge amounts of damage, armor in 3 moves which allows for pressure, and in combination with boxing makes you very tanky due to reduced damage stacking with range and the healthy gain from it as well passively. It has some weird combo runs due to Chop having enough hit stun, allowing for it to combo into eye gouge. Wow! The reason as to why TWAU boxing is so good is due to the fact that boxing makes you tanky, gives you more than 2 ways to completely choke the opposing person, and it completely disables Hamon users from playing the game. I'm sorry. Chop into eye gouge is for some reason true, which allows for you to do knives and then follow up with either an M1 or a jawbreaker, which if you do puts them in a mix-up situation where they either take the damage or block break, which allows for you to lengthen your combo, giving you even more damage and putting them in another mix-up with revolver, where they either take damage or they get block broken. You can also play this on high ping, which makes it even more impressive since you are a lot delayed even on just 230 ping. Or above. You can literally spam all of your moves because they all have armor. Why? I'll call this section bullshit because you'll come to realize how powerful it is. At its base, Eye Gouge has a cooldown of 10 seconds. Pretty short for something which stuns you long enough for a beatdown to connect, correct? Right? But there's a tree called Mastered Technique, where it lowers your cooldown. It lowers your cooldown, your Eye Gouge, from 10 seconds to a measly 7 seconds. Which might not sound a lot, but in terms of TWAU boxing, it does make a huge difference. It's a 30% cooldown reduction. Your Jawbreaker goes from 12 to 10 seconds. Why? This move. This fucking move. Take King Crimson's best tool and apply it to the world. You get the formula of asshole multiplied by dick. Whoever thought of the idea that TWAU should have a chop made King Crimson, but liked the world enough to the point where they wanted the world to perform as well as Casey does. This deals an ungodly 16 damage and the bleed being set 15, which means it does 36 damage if you land out of nowhere. Oh, did I forget to mention, this has armor, because it fucking does. The cooldown of this is abysmally low for how absurd the performance is, being a whopping 11 seconds. You can also do chop into Eye Gouge. Why would you do this all of this? You know that guy who just plays high tiers, right? And he feels himself anytime he wins and calls bullshit when they lose to a non-meta pick. That high tier character he plays is this. Knives deal the same damage Revolver does if the three of them connect with your opponent's poor player model. It has the armor, it has super armor, which means it's amazing in M1 trades, something YBA's combat revolves around. And it grants a free M1 if all of them land. Why does this move exist in TWAU Skit? I have no clue. This also has cooldown? No, low cooldown. Look at that. Fucking... It's like 2 seconds. And it also has armor. Why? Why does it have armor? It deals 24 damage if you hit 3 of them. 3 of them. It deals 24. Why? You know Knives? Yeah, this is Knives but better. If your aim is basically that of a third-party client aim assist. This is the same shit as Knives, but this time it actually block breaks, forcing your opponents to stop blocking, which means you can do ballsy plays by forcing them in mix-up situations, where you would do dash Revolver and doing dash Eye Gouge instead, forcing them to eat a chop and putting them in a mix-up situation where it's either take the Revolver or take 30 plus damage. It's also armored. Why? This can also, well, put them in another mix-up situation, which is Revolver into Jawbreaker. It's practically a confirm if you don't miss it. Deals so much damage. If this menace wasn't scary enough, you also have an unblockable fuck you move to the guy you want to mercilessly demolish. The explosion only occurs once you shoot the smoke's core. This deals 32 damage. A smite which is unblockable and is functionally the same due to allowing you to set up time stops and 100 damage combos. Guess what? If you guess correctly, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. I'll give you candy, okay? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. If you guess it has armor, then here's the candy. You think we're done? We're not even finished. This stand has access to what's called a Kaguya Heated Gamer Moment. Your damage is increased by 25% and your damage reduction is also increased by the same fucking amount as well. 25%! Not only is your pressure gain amazing and your damage output, now it's massively increased. This also gives you access to time stop, which not only allows you to get off massive damage, you also instantly kill them with the proper setup. Rage is also very easy to build since you deal so much damage. The rage mode is basically your patience bar, acting as some sort of, okay, well, you're dying too slow mechanic. Since you take less damage, you can play even more monkey and spam way more because you get punished less for being basically very impatient. You have a frame 1 mobility move. That's it. You can use this to reposition or chase your enemies down. There's really no purpose to this other than that. I guess you could say that technically time stop is an extension, but who cares? Well, I mean, the only counters to this stand are basically KCR and C-Moon, but even then, the matchup is 6-4, 6 to both KCR and C-Moon. TWAU doesn't really have any weaknesses apart from the user itself having bad aim or it being generally terrible at the game. It's quite literally the Izanami from YBA. The higher the skill level, the more aids it is to fight against and the better the fucking stand becomes. It's basically unstoppable.